Hello, my name is Michelle Medina, and I will be presenting to you my final Praxis project. Before I get started, I kind of want to go over exactly what I am focusing on and what really inspired me to focus in classroom educator advocacy. So, I work in a school that is kind of in a rural area. It's outside of Houston, and a majority of the school population is white. Now, this year we added a new program called the Language Lab, where students from K through 5 would take this elective course, and they would learn the basics of the Spanish language. However, I learned recently that the school didn't actually receive the program until about a month ago. So that made me wonder exactly what they have been doing in that classroom in order to teach the students correctly, the Spanish language. And the teacher told me specifically that she has been using a lot of flashcards, a lot of online worksheets that she's been finding online on her own. And she's been using a lot of word of mouth teaching since she is fluent in Spanish herself. And she's been using educational TV shorts, TV little shows in Spanish for the students to make that connection as well. And then I also started wondering exactly what she's been doing for the bilingual students, since they already know the basics of the Spanish language. How is she helping them elevate their knowledge of the language within the classroom? So hopefully my project can kind of explain what I'm trying to go for, or explain how I want to bring up this change within my school. So for my stakeholders, the first one that I put on there are school principals. Obviously, they are the ones that are in charge of what they want or do not want within the classroom. And if you tell them that that you want to change this certain language program in order to benefit the students some more, it will really show people that the school is really diverse within its community. Another stakeholder that we can talk to are teachers who actually create curriculum. Clearly, they're the ones that figure out what to teach the students and how to teach the students. And if you bring the teachers who create curriculum with the Spanish elective teachers themselves, and they interact, then they obviously can come up with a more efficient and more beneficial way for students to learn the language and for them to actually want to learn the language. Because another thing that I've noticed is that a lot of kids at this point don't really care to learn the language anymore. They just want to be on the computer and have some fun time. So the reason why I wanted to focus on the Spanish language program within my school is because I grew up in an all-English classroom. I am 100% Hispanic. I grew up in a household that is mostly spoken in Spanish. However, for some reason, when I tried to learn Spanish, it didn't really click. I know some Spanish, not a whole lot of it, but I do understand a majority of what people are saying. And so I feel like what really held me back was the fact that I was in an all-English classroom and that I didn't really have any Spanish language courses or electives growing up, especially in elementary school. The closest that I had to that was being pulled out of class for 30 minutes and interacting with the other bilingual students. I put air quotes on that because I was a shy kid, and they all spoke a language that I didn't really feel 100% comfortable speaking, because I had a feeling that if I did try, they would just make fun of me for it. So I just sat on my own and just listened. If I had this language program growing up, it would have helped me a ton. And I know that there's a lot of students in my school who are like me, who are Hispanic, yet they don't really know the language. And so that's mainly why I chose to focus on this one, because I don't want the kids to go through what I already had went through. So obviously, the ones who benefit from the positive changes within this program are the students. Like I said, for the ones who are like me, they will be able to connect with their roots, with their culture a little bit more. For the students who are not Spanish, who are not Hispanic in any way, it'll help them in the long run whenever they need to learn another language for their career or just to be in the world today. If nothing is done, they'll lose so many opportunities of gaining an open mind and learning things outside of their new world. Recommendations to think about. We need to be able to achieve a positive change. There's a lot of people who believe that learning another language that's not their own is a negative thing, but that's completely not true. And so we as educators really need to reevaluate what's important within the classroom. We need to collect data and see exactly what the students need in order to be successful. We need to see what they're struggling with and figure out how we can make a change in order to see them be to get better. Another recommendation to think about is students coming together and learning from each other. So students helping each other and learning from each other can really be a good benefactor for this. Lastly, for my symbol, I created this picture with the two hands and the light bulbs and obviously the little balance beam. This symbol shows how sharing knowledge with each other can bring balance into the world, and it shows that we are all equally intelligent, because we are. So yes, that is my final Praxis project. I hope I did okay. Thank you for taking the time to actually watch the whole video. I don't know how long it is. I hope it's shorter than 6 minutes. But anyway, thank you again, and